Montaigne! I have bedazzled my background and made it all a little Technicolor for you. We're both in Sydney and ironically on Zoom. How are you? That first meet and greet hit you pretty hard, huh?
Yes, it did. Yeah, no, I think it was reality, sort of like me actually reckoning with reality for the first time properly. I think, like seeing the press conference and how official everything looked and like there being an MC and all that stuff, I was just like, oh, it's like a real thing that people like are experiencing and getting to be around, and I am not. I'm in my bedroom and that's fine, but it's not Eurovision.
With all of us Australians stuck on the island, as you said, any expectations you had were crushed by circumstances. Is there anything that you want to say further to that?
There's a pandemic on and a lot of people dying from it, and we've mostly gotten rid of all of it in Australia except for the couple of cases that are popping up here and there at the moment, and like our country's just like really strict about it, and I back it just because like I'd much rather everyone be alive and safe and well than dying en masse of coronavirus, so that's good, but yeah, no, it's unfortunate circumstances.
I think we've been quite fortunate actually, and you to even have the first outing of Technicolor be Mardi Gras, where we performed it in the round. There's no one in the world having that kind of live gathering.
I was just very nervous about doing my first presentation of Technicolor to a Eurovision audience, and at the same time I was like, wow, the parade, I'm like right in the middle of it, it's really cool, and it was amazing to see like a stadium full of people again, especially like the best people in Sydney, which is all the queer people. But yeah, no, it was just really nerve-wracking and really daunting, and I'm glad I did it and I'm proud I did it, but it was just like it's just a lot, especially for an introvert.
Oh, were you prepared for this level of interest in you?
Yeah, I mean, Eurovision's a big event. It captures a larger audience, and I sort of expected it. But that was part of the challenges. Also, if my career develops further in time, like I will have a large audience, I will constantly have to deal with a large audience, so I may as well try to get used to it in a very contained period.
With all the visual material that we've seen for Technicolor, the live on tape, the music video, your outfits, hair, makeup, dances, they're all on point. Would you mind talking me through your creative vision for this project?
The vision for me was to sort of replicate the energy of Sailor Moon, but to create an amalgam of every sort of young female vigilante style hero I ever watched growing up. So Totally Spies or Kim Possible or the Winx Club or the various video games I've played. Ultimately what we went for with the costuming was that spy feeling of wearing a very tight sort of lycra latex PVC suit, but having the embellishments to make it a bit more haute couture and a bit more over the top, telling their story about being people, as well as spies, being people who have emotions and struggle but who come together with their team and then know that they are strong and
we got style and lasers. Exactly.
Do you think it will fit neatly into the show? Oh, I like that high note.
Yeah, I very loudly. I am very high. Maybe. I don't know.
How are you spending the live show? Are SBS throwing you a breakfast party?
I hope they're throwing me a breakfast party. It's early. I have to sit in the green room at SBS and remotely broadcast in. So I'll be doing that. My partner will be there, so that'll be nice and comforting. And I think my dancers will be there too, maybe. So that'll be nice to see them again.
How have your family and friends been a support? We had Mother's Day the other day. Did you get to be close to your mother?
I actually didn't. I was in Melbourne, but I did FaceTime her and chat to her a little bit, and that was nice. So it was digital closeness.
I love that Technicolor has elements of K-pop and hyperpop. Do you think that Australian music reflects a unique multiculturalism where European countries perhaps remain fairly national when it comes to the songs that they produce for Eurovision?
That's an interesting look at it. I think maybe, yeah. I mean,
Goa, for example, combines Ukrainian folklore with some modern elements, but it is very Ukrainian.
Yes, it is very Ukrainian. Australia, it doesn't have a sort of cultural and artistic national identity because we are built on the decimation of Indigenous culture. So, like, you know, colonialists just came in and were like, we're planting our flag here, we're making a culture that has been brought from the UK, but we're not quite the UK. We don't know what we are. All the migrants that ended up coming to Australia fill in like all of the weird little holes that, you know, our identity is lacking.
And because of that massive migrant population, SBS have been able to broadcast Eurovision for so many years because we get to embrace all of those cultural influences.
I think that's the case. I also like am so multi-ethnic. Like, I come from Asia and Europe and South America. Naturally, that's going to influence my music as well because my worldview from the beginning of my life has been trained to open my heart to other possibilities and other cultures. And I think that's why, you know, my music ends up so eclectic, because I really am very open to like a lot of other things, you know, by virtue of the family that I come from. And yeah, that's why things end up becoming eclectic, because we just have so many different ways of thinking and feeling and producing art accessible to us.
Final question. What is your favorite color?
The thing is, I'm about to say I don't know if it's my favorite color, but also like the majority of my wardrobe is quite green.
Well, there's an ebb and flow to color.
There is. It changes, yeah.
Well, thanks, Montaigne. I'm really excited to see what is in store for your Technicoloured life. 12 points to Australia.
12 points, exactly. Thank you.